Hi, I'm Papia, and in this problem, we are going to evaluate a definite integral using the properties of even and odd functions. So the integral that we have to evaluate is given right here. It's integral from -1 to 1, and the function is 3x to the 4th. So first, we have to figure out if this function is an even function or an odd function. So remember how we do that. So our function is 3x to the 4th. So what we do is we plug in -x for x, which means you just plug in -x wherever there is an x in the expression. So the expression is right here, right? So instead of x to the 4, you plug in -x to the 4 and see what we get. Now notice, since the exponent is 4, is an even number, -1 to the power 4 makes it a positive 1. So this is going to be exactly 3 times x to the 4th, which is exactly the original function f. What does that tell you? That tells you that this function is an even function. Okay, what does that mean? That means that this function is symmetric about y-axis. So notice what we have to do. We have to find the area of the region under the curve between -1 and 1. So since it's an even function, this region is equal on both sides of the y-axis. So we don't have to evaluate from -1 to 1. We can just evaluate the area from 0 to 1 and then multiply that by 2. And that will give us the entire area. That's the property of even function that we're going to use. Okay, so let's just evaluate the integral now. We just have to use the power rule here because cx has a power 4. So you pull out 3 because it's just a constant and integrate from 0 to 1, x to the 4 dx. All right, so 2 times 3 is 6. What is the antiderivative? Use power rule. So x will have a power of 4 plus 1, that's 5, divided by 5. And then we plug in 0 and 1. So the constant is 6 over 5. And plug in 1 for x, so we get 1 to the 5. Then subtract, plug in 0 for x, so we get 0 to the 5. And then we can simplify. This is just 1 minus 0. And so the answer is 6/5. So 6/5 is the answer to this definite integral. Thank you.